Reserves. Gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, Ben Shapiro says the facts don't care about your feelings, and they don't. And I'll say this, the case law doesn't care about what your political position is. So if we want to talk about more case law, how about Trump versus Thompson, 2022? Justice Kavanaugh ruled, and I'll quote, "A former president must be able to successfully invoke the presidential communications privilege for communication that occurred during his presidency, even if the current president does not support the privileged claim," end quote. I've got more and more case law that I could produce, but let's just go back to the fact that this select committee is a partisan political hit job. If this really had a legitimate legislative function, then let me ask you this. Where are the subpoenas for the former House Sergeant at Arms and the former head of the DC National Guard? We haven't seen those subpoenas. What about questions and subpoenas that are designed to elicit information? No, it's my time. Where are the subpoenas and questions that are designed to elicit information about why this Capitol was left unprepared and how to prevent it from happening again? That would be a legitimate legislative function. What we're seeing is this committee masquerading as if it's some kind of grand jury, which is wholly inappropriate and a violation of the separation of powers. To talk more about this, I yield 3 minutes to my good friend, the gentleman from the great state of Texas, Chip Roy.
Gentleman from Texas is recognized.
I thank my friend from Pennsylvania, and I rise in opposition to the previous question. The gentleman from Maryland, my friend, raised some issues about, saying that we're wasting time when we have stunts, he called them, I think, or I'm paraphrasing. And so here I am, and I'm going to be talking about an important issue, which I assume might be labeled as a stunt, to say that I oppose the previous question because there's something for me that is so critical and so existential to the people I represent in the state of Texas and to the people across this country, which is the decision by the CDC in conjunction with the Department of Homeland Security Secretary and the President of the United States to end Title 42 enforcement on the border of the United States. Now, our mutual colleague and friend who was in the chair and the speaker from Texas, Ms. Jackson Lee, who's on the Judiciary Committee, raised the issue about the imminent harm that may befall us because of the continued and new strains of COVID in April. Well, if that's true, why would the CDC say that we should stop enforcement of Title 42 at our border? We have 8,000 people a day coming across the border of the United States and being apprehended. 8,000. Half of those are being turned away under Title 42. The estimates by Border Patrol experts are that those numbers will swell to over 10,000, maybe as high as 15 to 18,000 when you get to the summer months. And when that happens and you stop enforcing Title 42, then all of those individuals will be released into the United States. That is a major problem because those numbers, it's not just the numbers themselves, it's the consequences. When Border Patrol is processing individuals because of the failed policies of the administration, it means that you have, as we saw last year, 500,000 people that were known gotaways because Border Patrol is now at the locations to process individuals. But then you have known gotaways, which means you have massive numbers of people coming here with criminal records and from places all over the world, 150 to 160 countries, including dangerous individuals from known terror states. The point here is that we have legislation for this body, the People's House, to require Title 42 to be enforced. Yvette Harrell, my colleague from New Mexico, introduced that last February. I filed a discharge petition of that bill last April because for the people watching at home, the Speaker of the House controls the floor, my Democratic colleagues control the floor, and the only way we have power to change that is through a discharge petition. We have 211 signatures. We have all Republicans, I think save maybe one, who have signed a discharge petition. And we're just asking our Democratic colleagues to join us in defense of the United States to call up this discharge petition so we can have a debate on Title 42 and securing the border of the United States, which is what that conga line was all about, trying to protect our country. I yield back.